Hi, welcome to my third and final Fragmapedium update, which includes all of my red Fragmapediums. So let's get started. Okay, so my only species is this one that I just recently got from Orchidea, and this is Fragmapedium dalessandroi. So it's grown some since arriving, and I'm keeping it moist, and sometimes there's some water underneath, but I'm careful not to over fertilize because I don't want to burn the leaves. But for sure this growth is growing, so I'm kind of happy. Actually, I'm very happy. Moving on, I have in the back here is Fragmapedium elsi lucie, which is Gargoyle times Dick Clements, and I had bought this in bloom, I guess maybe 2 years ago, and last year it just skipped. So, but it's doing better. The leaves have greened up somewhat, and I'm expecting good things from this one because I believe this growth now is blooming size. The color of the flowers the color is very dark. It's almost a burgundy flower. It's quite lovely. Moving on to something which I'm not so sure about is one that I bought called Fragmapedium Glowing Embers, and I thought this was longifolium times Jason Fischer, but I'm not so sure. I have to ask the vendor what it is. And this is another one that I picked up probably last year in the fall, and it's grown some. I mean, it's growing a leaf here, and there are 2 new growths here. I don't think this is blooming size, so I expect this to be either orange, reddish. I'm not sure, but I have to assume that it is Jason Fischer times longifolium, but the leaves don't look right to me, so that's why I have to ask the vendor what it is. And the next one is Fragmapedium Living Fire, which I bought in bud, and ever since then it's been a difficult plant to grow. I'm not exactly sure why, but the roots are very difficult to grow. So I'm repotting this plant constantly. And the plant isn't dead. It has a nice new growth coming along, but I recently repotted it, and there aren't a whole lot of roots, but you wouldn't tell by looking at the plant. I mean, it's still growing, but I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. Yeah, so that's another one of my troubled Fragmapediums, unfortunately. So let's see here. Yeah, this one here is, what is this? Okay, this is Sunset Magic 3N, and this is it's another red Fragmapedium hybrid. I believe it's lindleyanum times besseae. I've gotta check. Anyways, if it's not that, I'm gonna put it down in the description. But it's another red flowered besseae hybrid, so I'm hoping that this blooms soon. I don't think it's blooming size yet. I think it needs maybe another couple of leaves, and this is a recent acquisition. So, and in the back is looking actually pretty good compared to when I first bought it. This is my Jason Fischer. And I had a lot of problems initially with this plant. I'm not exactly sure why. Jason Fischer is oh God, I can't remember these crosses, but it is another besseae hybrid, and it gave me lots and lots of problems. I don't know why, but the leaves just wouldn't grow. But for now, in this transparent pot, you can see that there are some roots all the way going down all the way to the bottom of the pot. So the plant's doing a lot better. It also responded pretty well to the calcium nitrate in the spring, and it grew lots and lots of new leaves. So Finally, it's growing. So I think this is almost blooming size. I think that when this new leaf is mature, I think it'll be big enough to bloom. At least that's my hope. Moving on, this is my Andean Fire, Fragmapedium Andean Fire, which you've seen many times. And this is also another besseae cross. And it bloomed, I think, from this growth. And last year's growth is full of little babies, full of little growths. I don't know why, and even coming out from the center. And I'm fairly certain it's the calcium nitrate that caused this. So whoops, and there's another growth there too. And for this one, I had to repot it, and I just wanted to try something different with this one. So I put it in just a vase, and it's kind of in semi-hydro. As long as the roots are wet, I think this plant seems to be happy. And we'll see what it does. It doesn't need a whole lot of light. It seems to grow quite happily and seems to be blooming for me maybe once a year. And the spike lasts, I don't know, 4 to 6 months. So I think the only gripe I have about it is that it's not really red. It's kind of an orangey, pale color. So maybe one of the parents was maybe an alba or something. I don't know. But it is a healthy plant, and it seems to do well for me. So I guess it's earned its keep. The last one is, let's see, is Living Fire times Hertzii. So that would be Sorcerer's Apprentice times besseae times Fragmapedium. So therefore, this should be kind of reddish flowers with longer petals. So I've seen one made with not Living Fire but Andean Fire, and it was a very, very beautiful flower, and it had longish petals. So it's grown quite a bit since the spring, since I added the calcium nitrate, and it's grown a new leaf here, and it has 2 growths. I mean, it's really exploded and seems to be able to take a higher light now. So, but I'm holding back because I don't want to cause leaf damage by giving it too much fertilizer. Right now, it's getting a balanced-ish fertilizer, but very, very, very dilute. And in between fertilizer, I make sure that they get flushed quite regularly. So that's it. There you go. You have all of my Fragmapediums in 3 videos. So I hope you've enjoyed this series of Fragmapedium videos. And thanks for watching, and happy growing.